can do what I want when I want to do it. I can do what I need when I need to get through it. When I need someone else, can't be too proud for help, but gotta look after myself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what today is. But it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting. And I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You always free to take a break. Hope you feel what I felt. You gotta look after yourself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. Of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what today is.
All right, it is that time. We are back at it in the building. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We about to get into it. Hopefully everybody is doing well on this Tuesday morning after a historic day yesterday. All right, we got the ones and ones in the chat. There are my people. Shout out to y'all. How we looking though? Oh, camera's off a little bit. Oh, we cannot have that. No, no, no. Hold on, let me fix this camera. We gotta be center. There we go. Now we're looking crispy and clean on the screen. Welcome y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the Music Morning Show. I'm your host, Classy Beats at classybeats.com. And today we're gonna have an amazing show. We got some great topics for y'all, some breaking news as well. It's very interesting things going on with Brian Steele's new case, along with Eric Adams. They are defending the former DA, Jackie Johnson. As y'all know, a lot of people are in their feelings about it, but we're gonna get into that. Of course, Fani Willis, man, oh my gosh. Fani Willis took a L again yesterday. And we're gonna talk about that. Of course, we're gonna get into Naziah Harris as well. We've got the final video of her last moments on camera. So y'all stay tuned in for that. It's gonna be a great show. Thank you to everybody that's in here as well. Looking forward to seeing what y'all think about our topics. Shout out to everybody who's in here as well. I gotta say what's up to the people. Of course, we have my awesome, amazing Amy is in the building. Shout out to Amy. Les Cleaver is in here first thing in the morning, dropping a super chat with the 5 bomb. He says, good morning to all. Bless God, bless us all, and protect us and give us strength as we start this trial of Naziah Harris. Yeah, absolutely. We've got Silas is in the house. Shout out to Silas. Michi is up in here. Shout out to Michi. A Fitz, Alejandra, the Love Zoe is in the building. What's up? What's up? We got Valencia, Letitia, Gerald, my guy Jay Bugmaster's in here. Mal Beauty is in the building. Good to see you, Miss Vershay. Ashley, good morning. Good morning. Who else is in here? We got Maricela, Nancy, Nisha. We've got Shanice. Who else? Did I miss anybody? I say what's up to Nicole. I think I got everybody in there. We got Nicole. We've got WYO307 girl. Okay. John McNatt's in here from Nashville. Good to see you in there. The Honorable Attorney Kel Bell is in the building as well. Can y'all give a round of applause to our amazing attorneys here on this channel? Y'all bring so much to this channel. And Kel Bell, so many others, the Honorable Javier LaFleur, We've got our guy Joshua Van Lawn, the Honorable Joshua Van Lawn as well. I appreciate y'all being here so much because you guys give such great insight into the legal side of things and really help us continue to learn and grow about how things go when it comes to court. So thank y'all for being here. Also, shout out to Jamie as well. Jamie was in here yesterday as well. Miss Davis is in here. We got Shoni. I Am Shout is in the building as well. All right. Thank y'all for being here. I just have one favor to ask you before we get started with the show. If you could, make sure you like the video on your way in. Not only is it free, not only does it help the show continue to grow, but it lets the algorithm know that y'all are enjoying the show, and it shares the video and the channel with more people. As many of you may know, we just hit 100,000 subscribers over this past weekend. So thank you to everybody who subscribed. We're at 102 subscribers right now, which is crazy. Continuing to grow, continuing to do amazing things for thank y'all. So thank y'all for being here to support as well. All right, let's go ahead and get into our topics today. Now, a few weeks ago, we talked about what's going on with Brian Steele and Keith Adams' next client. No, their next major client, and that is going to be Jackie Johnson. Now, if you don't know who Jackie Johnson is, she was the, former DA in the county where Ahmaud Arbery was sadly murdered, right? And that trial went through. All three gentlemen who were involved were found guilty, and they're in prison for the rest of their lives. Thank the Lord. They're paying for what they did. Unfortunately, it won't bring Ahmaud Arbery back, but justice was served in that case. Well, now trial is beginning to start, and Brian Steele and Keith Adams are representing the DA. Now, you might be wondering, why does this DA need representation? Well, we're going to get into it here in a second, and then you guys will get a little refresher on why they're defending her and now what's happening with trial starting for Jackie Johnson today. Here we go.
On the news tonight, a former Brunswick district attorney charged with illegally interfering with police investigating the 2020 killing of Ahmaud Arbery made her first court appearance today.
A grand jury indicted Jackie Johnson 3 years ago for violating her oath of office and hindering a police officer.
No good.
Fox 5's Christine Spiro joins us now in studio with the latest developments. Christine.
Prosecutors for State Attorney General Chris Carr's office say Jackie Johnson used her position to protect Greg McMichael and to urge police not to arrest Travis McMichael. Both men are currently serving life sentences
allegedly
for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. The 25-year-old was fatally shot in February of 2020 as he ran from the men who chased him in a pickup truck in a neighborhood in Brunswick. They wrongly suspected Arbery was a thief. Police say Greg initiated the deadly chase. He was a retired investigator for Johnson's office. His son Travis killed Arbery with a shotgun. Now, during the pretrial hearing today, prosecutor John Fowler accused lead defense attorney Brian Steele of trying to steer Johnson's case into a gray legal limbo where no one would prosecute her.
Y'all see Brian Steele?
By trying to make Attorney General Carr a witness by speculation without subpoenaing him and trying to come up with some vague reason, they're trying to get this case into a place where it cannot go forward.
If the head of the office, the elected district attorney, or in this case the elected attorney general, has a conflict, then all of their people who work for them have a conflict.
Prosecutors have said in court filings there were 16 calls between phone numbers for Johnson and Greg in the days and weeks after the shooting. Greg left Johnson a voice message the day Arbery was killed. Johnson has denied any wrongdoing. The judge has scheduled jury selection to start January 21st. Attorneys on both sides tell the judge they expect the case to take about 2.5 weeks. But we remember how high profile this case was. And here coming full circle with this potential attorney being prosecuted. We'll see where that trial goes.
Yeah, with the years that have passed since it all happened, some people might have forgotten that there were charges involving the prosecutor in this case.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be following it.
All right, Christine.
So now with a little bit of that background, we're going to get into what happened today. Again, we looked at the details and the evidence we know of so far when it comes to this Jackie Johnson case. And I think we came to the conclusion that she may have a pretty good defense in this. Now, there are some instances where we could see maybe some misconduct where she's having certain conversations with certain people in authority about, hey, these guys, Probably don't need to arrest them. Maybe that was said, maybe it wasn't. We don't know that for sure. Also, the phone calls taking place back and forth. We don't know if they were actually calls and conversations that they had, or if she called him, he called her. We don't know a lot of that information yet. So the jury's, pun intended, still out on that, right? So what happened today? And this is by the Atlanta News 10. Shout out to Atlanta News 10. Just released this morning, more than 200 potential jurors summoned for the trial of prosecutor in Ahmaud Arbery death case. All right. What happened over in Brunswick? More than 200 potential jurors were summoned Tuesday to a Georgia courthouse to face questions about whether they can serve impartially in the trial of the former prosecutor accused of meddling with the police as they investigated the 2020 killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Now, this is going to be tough to do, as mentioned in the news video. A lot of people know about this case, and especially the people of Brunswick. They know what's going on here. Jackie Johnson served as district attorney when Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, was chased by 3 white men in a pickup truck and fatally shot on a resident street. Johnson's misconduct trial will be held in the same courthouse where Arbery's assailants were convicted of murder in 2021. Ugh, yikes. The threat of winter weather is causing delays. Senior Judge John R. Turner said he plans to adjourn early Tuesday ahead of the forecasted snow showers, which I'm here in Atlanta. It's looking like we're not going to get any snow. Unfortunately, I know my kids are disappointed, but I ain't mad about it. We got 1 snow. I'm good for the rest of the year. He also canceled court Wednesday when local schools will be closed because of the expected snow of ice. Officials summoned a large pool of potential jurors given the notoriety of Arbery's killing and Johnson's public profile during her decade as a top prosecutor in coastal Glenn County. Superior Court Clerk Rebecca Walden said her office mailed out jury duty notices to 500 people. That's a lot of people. More than 200 had filled out and returned juror questionnaires, she said. Some others were excused from jury duty or their mailings were returned as undeliverable. Potential jurors will be asked what they've read or heard about Arbery's killing and the case against Johnson, and whether they are able to serve as impartial jurors. Walden said she suspects it could take a week to select a jury of 12 members plus alternates. I don't know. Y'all have to let me know how long you think it's going to take, because it's going to be a tough task for sure. Greg McMichael, a retired investigator for Johnson's office, started the pursuit with his son, Travis McMichael, on February 23rd of 2020 after Arbery ran past his home just outside the port city of Brunswick. Travis McMichael killed Arbery with a shotgun at point blank range as a neighbor who joined the chase, William Roddy Bryan, recorded the shooting on his cell phone. The men later said they wrongfully suspected him as a thief. And William Bryan is actually serving the same sentence as the other 2 guys. All he did was follow him, record him. Got the same time, man. Insane. Georgia's Attorney General Chris Carr's office is prosecuting Johnson. Prosecutors say she abused her office by trying to shield McMichaels, who along with Bryan avoided arrest for more than 2 months until the shooting video leaked online. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation then took over the case from local police. All 3 men were arrested, convicted of murder, and sentenced to life in prison. All right, here we go. Definitely justice there, because it was a pretty open and shut case. They were found guilty of federal hate crimes in a separate 2022 trial. Johnson was indicted in September of 2021 on a charge of violating her oath of office, a felony punishable by 1 to 5 years in prison, and a misdemeanor count of hindering police as they investigated Arbery's death. The indictment says Johnson showed favor and affection towards Greg McMichael and interfered with police by directing that Travis McMichael should not be placed under arrest. Johnson was denied wrongdoing, insisting she immediately handed the case to an outside prosecutor because of her connection to Greg McMichael, which she was supposed to do. She was voted out of office in November of 2020, a defeat she largely blamed on the controversy over Arbery's death. this story has been corrected to state that Aubrey was killed on February 23rd, not September 23rd, 2020. So what do y'all think is going to happen to this? Do y'all agree with Brian Steele, and Keith Adams, who defended Young Thug, now defending the DA? Everybody's entitled to representation. She wanted Brian Steele. They took the case. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this instance, because we still have a lot of information that has to come out, especially when it comes to the phone calls. I don't know if they were able to do wiretaps or get those phone calls, because if what the prosecution is saying did happen, then she might be in for a lot of trouble. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. And good morning to everybody who's just stopping by too. Always good to see y'all. Hollywood Cousin here said road to 150K. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. The numbers are cool, but we're going to keep putting in the work. Y'all know what we do. Ashley says there's something with the GA. They don't want to call him to testify. There is no way Adams would be taking this case if there was something behind this.
What we have ultimately is that there is no evidence, none.
I am not sure if it's going to be televised or not, but we're going to keep an eye on things and see if we can find it. The court proceedings weren't televised today, unfortunately, so we weren't able to get any video from that. But as news comes out, y'all know I'm gonna cover it here as well. All right, this one's gonna be a little interesting. We're kind of going to talk conspiracy theories here a little bit. All right, so y'all bear with me. So we talked about what was going on with Fani Willis. We talked about all of her issues she's going to have moving forward now that Trump is in office. Not only that, but she got kicked off the Trump case. Now we're going to have to wait and see who is going to get this case and if they're going to take it at all. But in the meantime, Joe Biden made some interesting moves right before Donald Trump was inaugurated yesterday. And we're going to talk about it here a second and then get into how that's going to play into what happens to Fani Willis, because there's a lot of evidence out there saying that there may have been some collusion between Fani Willis and the White House, specifically Kamala Harris. And with her and Kamala not receiving a pardon, it's going to be interesting to see how things move forward. Y'all check this out.
It's a Fox News alert. President Biden, this just came across, just issues new pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci. You could call these preemptive pardons. Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired four-star General Mark Milley. This just happened moments ago. It also includes the members of Congress and staff who served on the Select Committee and the U.S. Capitol, and D.C. Metropolitan Police officers who testified before the Select Committee. This as Trump prepares to take the oath of office in just a few hours.
Would that include Liz Cheney?
So
what
it's
a mess.
No, it doesn't. I guess,
Committee?
Yeah, Select Committee.
The whole select.
But what does it say? Mark Milley, who is chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under both Biden and Trump, you know that 100%. What he's done in the past. You know that he was calling China, trying to putting down President Trump.
I mean, what are they afraid that Pete Hegseth is going to see when he goes to the Defense Department and look at the files and data? There's been no talk of going after Anthony Fauci.
Well, Rand Paul is.
There may have been some senators, but the president himself has not said he wants to prosecute
here's
Anthony Fauci.
Absolutely right. And here's the thing. You pardon somebody who's been convicted.
Right.
They haven't been convicted. They haven't been charged. This is crazy. It will be interesting.
And that's been a big part of this conversation with the pardons. We're going to get to some of them specifically in a minute, but it has been said that you don't pardon somebody if they're not guilty. And I'm going to tell you guys who that was said by here shortly. We'll get into it.
Read the exact language, and because it just broke, we haven't seen it yet. But remember when Hunter Biden was pardoned by his father, the language was extraordinary because it essentially, we know some things happened during certain time periods, but this was a 10-year window. Anything he did during those 10 years was essentially it was a get out of jail free card. So it'll be interesting to see the language, the parameters of what time we're talking about, and what it talks about, what he has pardoned them from.
His brother wasn't on that list.
Incredible.
He has 4.5 hours to pardon his brother.
Not yet.
I know that's going to get done. Yeah. Absolutely. By the way, the 51 intel
Why would
agents
his
who said
brother
that
be on the
laptop was fake. I believe one of the executive orders is going to rescind their security clearance.
Security clearance away. But it's just so interesting to me that this is occurring right now. I mean, what
Has
is
that ever happened?
4 hours away
But how
from
is
the
it,
presidency?
but Lawrence,
You see Marine
has it ever
One
happened?
landing right behind us.
Has it ever happened before that a preemptive pardon was pushed? A preemptive pardon. Just in case I do something or you find something, you can't do that.
I'm Steve Ducey.
It's kind of wild that the pardons work this way, but that is the case. We're here. We're in America. You can give a sweeping pardon to anybody that you see fit if you're the president. I'm not going to get into that. Now, moving forward into what Joe Biden said about this before. This isn't obviously the first time that a politician, specifically Joe Biden, has said one thing and then done something the exact opposite. But I thought this was an interesting quote by him 10 days ago. Biden says he will only pardon individuals who committed crimes. And then, of course, we all know who he pardoned. Here's the quote from Joe Biden.
Also, sir, on pardons, have you ruled out a pardon for yourself or any other additional members of the family?
For myself?
Yes, sir.
What would I pardon myself for?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I have no contemplation of pardoning myself for anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
Mr. President, would you comment
No.
on Meta's decision to...
Also, sir, on pardons, have you...
So now moving forward again, what happened in the last, we'll say 24 hours? Joe Biden issues one last pardon as president for his entire family. James Biden, Sarah Jones Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, John T. Owens, and Francis W. Biden. Notable on that list, it was not mentioned. Fani Willis was not mentioned. Kamala Harris, although I don't think she needs it. But let's say the mayor of Atlanta wasn't mentioned in that too. And we all have seen some of the implications there with what went on with Fani Willis going to the White House, certain meetings they had right before Trump was indicted. Why is this important? Well, let's keep it going. What did President Trump have to say about Joe Biden? Joe Biden pardoning pretty much everybody he knows has been in contact with. Here it is.
I was surprised that President Biden would go and pardon his whole family, because that makes him look very guilty. You know, I could have pardoned my family. I could have pardoned myself, my family. I said, if I do that, it's going to make me look very guilty. I don't think I'd be sitting here, frankly. If I did that, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now, because I would have shown that you're guilty.
Now, why do we even care? Why would it have been important for Fani Willis to be pardoned in the first place? Well, we know Ashley Merchant was going at Fani Willis when it came to her conduct during this entire Trump trial. And she had an entire back and forth. There was a hearing, and then Fani Willis eventually got kicked off of the trial. But the thing is, some of the accusations that Ashley Merchant made towards Fani Willis are important, and we're going to hear why. So shout out to Fox for this. Let me go ahead and skip forward a little bit, and y'all can hear it straight from Ashley Merchant herself. Here we go.
In Colorado. Yes.
Oh, goodness. The White House fired back after defense attorney Ashley Merchant testified yesterday about a meeting between District Attorney Fani Willis and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Now, Kamala Harris denied it. Why she would deny it, I don't know. But if it comes out this is true, this could be really bad for Fani. And she's not getting any help from anybody.
Merchant cited evidence that Willis visited the White House in February of 2023. That's just months before a grand jury in Georgia indicted President Trump in the state's election interference case. Fani Willis is, of course, prosecuting that case and facing disqualification for misconduct because she was having an affair with the man that she hired as the highest paid prosecutor on the case, and it just gets more tawdry from there. We've all watched the drama play out. The White House claims the vice president was hosting an event attended by hundreds of black leaders and that she did not directly speak with Willis. Here's some of Merchant's very interesting testimony.
I did open records for the White House access, and we had records that Ms. Willis and the mayor of Atlanta were at meeting with the vice president, and he told me, you know.
Ooh, that's not good. That is so bad. So Ashley Merchant doubling down, and this happened in the past. I brought it up, but I haven't actually played the video for y'all. Now you get to see what Ashley Merchant is saying. She went to the White House, talked to Kamala Harris with the mayor of Atlanta, and then an indictment just happened. Yikes.
We're at meeting with the vice president, and he told me, you know, they met at hotels. He would go to her place. There was a period of, I think it's 15 or 16 days where he did not have a contract. Which also happened to be one of the times they were out of town. But so they re-upped the contract. The cap was significantly higher.
So that was not the courtroom, because that ended about a week ago. This is inside the Georgia State Senate special committee investigating Willis's affair with Nathan Wade. We showed you parts of this live. I just want to get your reaction to that, Trey.
I just want people to understand, heroes, that this is not the way 99.9% of all prosecutors in this country conduct themselves on either side of the aisle. These are politicians masquerading as prosecutors, and it will be the undoing of our justice system. Now, whether or not a judge finds that this is sufficient to disqualify the prosecutors, I'm not sure that helps Trump. I'd rather have two people who don't know what they're doing prosecute me than go find two people who actually do. The larger point is weaponizing our justice system, whether it's the federal or the state level, it will be our undoing. What I'd like to know more about are these meetings between Fani Willis or Nathan Wade and the White House, because that level of political coordination should discuss people of all political ideations.
Well, look, Brent Tolman told me yesterday, former prosecutor, I know you know him, he said that you could get to the end of this where you've got ethical crimes being committed. I mean, some of the things that they were doing really should not have been happening if, in fact, this had anything to do with a president who was pushing against an opponent. Like, was the justice system actually being used? He now has more questions than he's ever had before.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention, we've seen this from Fani Willis before, right? Oh, man. Y'all gotta let me know what you think about Fani in this case. Is she in trouble now that she's seemingly left out in the rain with 4 years for Donald Trump to figure out what he's going to do, if anything, about this? Because we're still waiting to see who's going to get this case next. If someone's going to take it, if they're going to hold on to it and wait till he gets out of office and then maybe prosecute. Who knows what's going to happen moving forward?
Well, but Brett is right. What I would add to that is Fani Willis and Nathan Wade may very well have issues with respect to perjury. They may have issues with candor before the court. They may have Georgia bar issues. The question for President Trump and other co-defendants is whether or not the indictment is legally sufficient. And even if it is not, they're just going to go get another grand jury to indict him again. We got to fix the underlying pathology, which is a politicization of our justice system.
Trey Gowdy, thank you. Come back.
All right. Shout out to Fox for that interesting interview. Again, y'all get to see it for yourself what Fani Willis is looking at facing. I mean, is she going to be done? What's going to happen to her moving forward? Y'all have to let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat. Woo-wee. Fani is in trouble, man. I thought maybe Joe Biden might help her out. It's not looking great. We got a couple of super chats I want to get into before we get into our next topic. Here we go. Let me see. I got less in there. We've got Amber Rain up in here making it rain. Not only did she gift 5 memberships, not only did she give 6 or 7 or 8, Amber Rain just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Amber. Always showing up, always showing love. I appreciate the support. And if you got a membership from Amber Rain, y'all make sure you say thank you. One of the amazing moderators over here on the channel. and always showing so much love. I appreciate you, Amber. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Do I need to call y'all out too? Because I know a bunch of y'all got memberships and they'll say thank you in there. So y'all type Amber Rain in the chat and show her some love. Who got one? We got Rachel. Rachel got one. Ducky Dexter. I know Ducky will say thank you. We got Amber C in there. We've got ZK got one. Queen Cannabis got one. Oh, shout out to Queen Cannabis. And then Paul Johnson. Shout out to Paul Johnson. Marlo. D. Michelle. Jazzy Gal 916 and Andre Cook. Y'all make sure you say thank you to Amber Rain. And who else do we have in here? I had another super chat in there as well. There it is. Love Zoe dropping the one bomb. I appreciate you for the $1. Just showing some love. Thank you so much. They love Zoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, shout out to the Ninja Watchers in here. Nicole says Fani has lied so much that nothing she does moving forward can be taken as credible. It's going to be, again, this is all speculation. I don't know for sure what's going to happen. But when you go against somebody and bring up these claims and try and make things difficult for them to move forward, I can't imagine that there wouldn't be some type of, I don't want to say retaliation, but some type of need for justice in that case, especially when you see, I mean, clearly, even if you're a fan of Fani Willis, you know that what she did in this situation wasn't right. Overpaying Nathan Wade, their relationship was inappropriate. There's so many ethical issues. And even when it comes to the charges in this indictment, a lot of them aren't holding up. And we already saw the courts ruling on those. So it's gonna be tough recovery from her, but we'll have to wait and see what Trump does. Also, shout out to my guy, Mr. Brown, up in here, dropping the one bomb as well. Yep. Appreciate you, sir. Just showing some love. And Mal Beauty said, yep, exactly. Y'all voted for her too. I did not personally, but I'm super disappointed in Fulton County. Just not being aware of what's going on. Again, there's a lot of factors in there. I mean, she's a Democrat. She has done some good things in the community. She's already been in there. She's experienced. Courtney Kramer had zero experience when it comes to this type of position. So I think things were too early. She didn't really have anyone running against her that people could get behind. Not to mention that she's a black female Democrat. I mean, come on. Here in Atlanta and Fulton County specifically, that's going to be tough to beat. So again, Fulton County, disappointed as well, but we're going to continue to have a conversation. I'm going to continue to do my part, voting moving forward. So we're going to keep trying. Shout out to Slim Life in here with the 5 bomb, says keep it up. You know, we don't take any days off, Slim Life. We're going to be here. No days off. Antoinette Smith says she fine in my little Woody voice. Yeah, I wish. I wish. And again, I'm not going to take away from the good things that Fani has done here, but she has done some good things, and I'm going to give her credit from that. But at the same point, the misconduct is so glaring that that's really all that we talk about. And I mean, we've seen it with even some of the candidates that have been running for president, running for other things within the government. It's just, yeah, you can be this smart. You can have a good mindset. We can agree with some of the things you say, but the way that you go about doing it, and if you have this one glaring issue we can't get behind, I think it's just gonna make people want to throw away the whole person, which is unfortunate. But I think I'm at a place to where I can look at things objectively. I would like to think so, but Fani, she's taking things too far. Sean P is up in here too. What's up, man? Good to see you in the building. CEB gang for life. Fake news is wild. Imagine Ashley Merchant taking Fani places. Oh gosh. Unless Thug provides proof of it being bought with legitimate money, police have the right to take it. It's our system. Oh, y'all are talking about the watch. Yeah, that watch is gone. Trump don't play. He on that ass. How can you argue against Fani with the convicted felon that's president? What? So I have a convicted felon as president, Sean P. What should I do? What should I do? Or should we just throw away everything? Again, if you want to argue about the system, that's fine. But just because I'm asking you, what should I do? I can argue against Fani because it's wrong. And if you want to argue that Trump being a felon and being president is wrong, you can argue that. But bringing up that fact to say that what Fani Willis did isn't wrong doesn't make sense. Wrong is wrong and wrong is wrong. They're both abusing power. One really has nothing to do with the other. It doesn't. But I mean, if you want to go down the list of abuse of power and people who've done wrong when it comes to the political scene, I mean, it just is what it is at this point. The conversation I'm having is because Fani Willis went after the person who is now in power, what's going to happen to her? That's the conversation. So I don't really want to get into the morality of politics. When it comes to politics, play the game. If you're going to be in politics, you want to play the game when it comes to power and influence, fine, play the game. But play it smart at least. Don't be out here overpaying a special prosecutor who has never had experience and then sleeping with him and putting your whole career at risk. It's just, come on, man. Actually, they do have everything to do with Fani because she's playing the game versus her. Well, it's looking like she's losing, so maybe she needs to get a different strategy because she got kicked off the case. And now the guy that she was trying to put behind bars, he's the one holding the stick. I mean, at the end of the day, say what you want to about Trump, but he in there for 4 years. So, yeah, I don't think any politicians are dirty. That's not the conversation we're having. That's a separate conversation. The conversation we're having with what we have right now in our hands. Donald Trump is the president, convicted felon or not. Fani Willis, she got kicked off the case and is in a very, very vulnerable position. She didn't get pardoned by Joe Biden, so hey. So yeah, you're trying to change the topic, but I get what you're saying. If you want to talk about should a convicted felon be a president, I mean, he is. So it is what it is at this point. Just like I say, people of Fulton County voted Fani Willis back in there and she's there. So I can't really complain about that, except say shame you guys in Fulton County. So now we know convicted felons can be president. This was before he was in office. She is currently in office. Yep. Exactly. Correction, sir. It is a special lead. I gotta read these comments before. A special lead prosecutor, which is why he was paid. That's why he's getting 2 paychecks. Oh man. See? I can't. Mama D says, classy. I'm so on your page. I was excited yesterday. I look forward to the change in the right direction. Yeah, don't start talking about that. Or Sean P is going to talk to y'all start talking about Native Americans and the entire industrial complex. So just we'll take it easy on that. We'll just say, hey, y'all sit back and enjoy the next 4 years, or don't. It is what it is. I'm here for the crash out though. It'll be fun. All right, let's get back into this very, very, very sad case that is going on right now. Some of you may have heard there has been some delays in what's going on with this Naziah Harris trial because allegedly something went on in the prison with Jarvis. So either he was attacked or something happened to him. I haven't heard officially what happened yet, but there's been a hold off on anything moving forward with the trial. I wanted to go back and look at this video that was posted by our very own Amy. Y'all give it up for Amy. All right. She posted this over on our YouTube channel. If y'all haven't checked out our YouTube channel, make sure you do that and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time she drops a new video. This is the evidence that was played in court showing the last moments of allegedly what happened. I don't want to say Naziah Harris's life because we don't know what the time frame was, but her last moments caught on camera are going to be played here in court. We can kind of see the story of what we were told by Cordell Wright lining up with what we see in the video, because they mentioned they were driving down the street and Neziah, she either saw as she was walking down the street or was meeting up with Jarvis, and then we know she disappeared. So let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all make sure you go subscribe to Amy's channel.
Playing Exhibit 49 from the beginning. And stopping the video at 9 seconds in. I'm not going to ask you to narrate what we're seeing in the video. I just want to lay some groundwork as to what we're looking at. Did you see that bus go by on the right side of the screen?
Correct.
And playing Exhibit 49 from the beginning. And stopping the video at 9 seconds in. I'm not going to ask you to narrate what we're seeing in the video. I just want to lay some groundwork as to what we're looking at. Did you see that bus go by on the right side of the screen?
Correct.
And where is that bus approximately stopping right now on the screen?
That's stopping right approximately at 3 Mile Drive.
And Cornwall?
Cornwall.
Okay. And we're looking at Bedford from this view?
Yeah, we're looking eastbound from the house of 4803 towards down Cornwall towards 3 Mile Drive.
Okay. Continuing playing from 9 seconds.
You can see the bus going by up at the top of the screen.
And moving to Exhibit 50 and playing from the beginning. And moving now to Exhibit 51.
See her walking down the street.
6 seconds into the video. Detective, is there a timestamp on this video that you can see or that you know of?
There is a timestamp.
Can you see it on the screen right now?
No, sir.
And is it being obscured by the zoom thing in the bottom right corner?
Correct.
Detective, when you went to extract this, is there something you do or a process that you follow to calibrate the time system on the system you're extracting the video from?
Correct. We do a time calibration to the world clock.
Okay, and what is the world clock?
So basically, the world clock is the anatomical clock that we go by from the Navy clock. So looking at the anatomical clock or the world clock to the video system, we calibrate how if it's zeroed, which this one was, or if it was short or fast.
Okay. So you would be able to tell if the time system that is on the video is 10 seconds fast, 2 hours fast, or slow?
Slow, correct.
And what was the result again for this video?
Again, this was 0 to the world clock, so it was on time.
Okay. And
Just go faster.
are you good? Okay. Move like. And you can see the bottom. And
I wonder if they got the car driving by.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yeah.
Detective, can you read, it might be easier on the laptop, what the time is in the bottom right corner on the screen right now?
Once it's still covered up. So that time is, and I don't have my glasses, it is January 9th, 2024. I believe it's 14:54 and some seconds.
And 14:54 would be around
2:54 p.m. on the 9th of January.
And all of these videos have that timestamp?
Correct.
And playing the video now from 33 seconds.
Man, this all happens so fast too.
I have nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Real quick. So in that video, are you familiar with that area that's depicted in the video?
Correct.
Okay. So you said that that was a view from the camera on a house viewing Bedford going east. Is that correct?
Bedford runs north and south. Cornwall runs east and west. So it's shooting eastbound down Cornwall, basically.
Okay. But the view, your view is is looking towards the east.
Correct.
Okay. And so in Bedford, you said is a north-south street.
Correct.
And so the person walking down Bedford would be going towards the north.
Yes, ma'am. Towards East
Harper,
Warren.
Or is it Warren or is it Harper?
That's Warren.
Warren. Okay.
Well, Warren, then Harper. That's all going in that direction.
Okay.
It's interesting to see how this played out because, again, Cordell told the same story. She was walking down the street. He and Jarvis pulled up and he's like, "Oh, there's my niece. Let me go pick her up." They picked her up. Then they were working on the car for several hours. Cordell left. And then we don't know what happened from there. So interesting to see this video play out. Again, a lot of evidence showing that some of these stories of what went down fit together. My question is, did Cordell Wright have something to do with this? Because I would be interested to see if there's any videos showing what he did after he left the scene. If he really went back to where he said he went, what happened to Jarvis after this? Again, the trial is upcoming here soon. Once everything gets settled, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Very sad story. And hopefully there will be justice in some ways for Naziah Harris. Let me know what y'all think in the comments in the chat. Yeah, and y'all are saying it, man. Like, I don't know. He picked her up after this video. Yep, good morning. Slim Life said, "I miss Cordell in the stand." Go back. I did it. I posted a couple of videos about it on Sunday and Monday morning. So I've got them clipped up on the channel here. After seeing this, I don't feel bad. I'm overprotective of my kids. I had some guilt before. I was so overprotected. Man, Ashley, you get one chance. You get one life. If my only crime is that I cared about my kids so much and I was overprotective and I didn't allow them to be in certain situations, I think we win. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to feel guilty about that. I was raised by a very, very, very overprotective mother. And man, it took me a while to realize what she was protecting me from. When I got older, I said, man, thank you so much. Because I hear about all the other BS some of these kids had to go through, some of these kids had to deal with. I'm like, man, thank you for protecting me from all this, because I didn't see it now. And I complained about not being able to go over to certain sleepovers or hang out at this place or do this thing. Thank God for my shout out to my mom, man. Thank God she was overprotective, because I did not want to have to deal with that. Nope. No regrets at all. So never apologize for being overprotective. If you're there for your kids, you're involved in your life, you're giving them the tools and opportunities they need to be successful. All this other BS, it doesn't even matter. Oh my gosh, my daughter wants to walk home from school by herself. I'm like, not till you're 25, man. Even then, I mean, she needs to be carrying or something. You just never know. My husband and I were overprotective. Also, my middle son told me recently that now he understands why. Wait till they get kids, then they'll really understand. Shout out to the overprotective parents. Mom, thank you. Thank you, mama. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all said I agree. Thank you. Me too. No sleepovers. Man, y'all don't want me to get into it. Maybe I'll talk about it on the Patreon. We started a new Patreon, by the way, over the weekend to celebrate 100K. So if y'all want to check out the Patreon, I'm going to be dropping exclusive videos over there. We're going to have live panels as well. You guys will get to come up. We'll have a conversation. I'll probably post those over on the Music Morning Show YouTube at some point. I'm releasing legal documents and articles there. I also got some behind the scenes stuff I think y'all are going to really enjoy. I'm talking about a situation that I got into on this channel. Still waiting for some things to play out. But if y'all haven't checked out the Patreon, go sign up. The link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. We're going to have a good time over there. Y'all can interact, see some exclusive videos and things like that. So we'll talk about the parenting stuff too. I'll probably leave that to the Patreon side though. I don't have kids, but I understand how my parents were. Yeah, shout out to us overprotective parents. I will not apologize at all. This world is full of child predators. Prison is full of them. Makes me sick. Thank you, mom and dad. Yeah. Thank you, mom. Thank you, dad. Love and appreciate y'all. Good morning, Classy Beats. Good morning to you. We should speak about parenting. I agree. I couldn't sleep over at nobody's house, not even family. Oof. It's not worth it. LTO said, dang, I'm nosy now. I want to sign up. Yeah, y'all sign up. Amy says, I've never seen people pardoned for crimes they haven't been charged for. She said, how'd that work? Hollywood Co said, this world is crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I watched the press conference this morning on two girls from South Carolina, ages 14 and 15, bludgeoning and killed a 14-year-old girl and set the abandoned house on fire. What? They're being treated as adults, as they should. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of the case, but yeah. Sean P said, y'all different. I was a neighborhood kid. I spent the night everywhere. It depends, Sean. I mean, I wouldn't ban it completely, but it depends on your community. I think there are certain communities to where that type of thing can work. If you have good relationships with people, if you know people, if you're actively involved in your lives, having that type of community around you, I think is healthy. And there are places for it. But again, we know how kids can be. So, hey, listen, at the end of the day, you got to be able to say you did the best you could, and then they got to make their decision. But when it comes to kids, I've seen too much. I'm going to be overprotective. It's called protection from an idiot seeking revenge. Yeah, I can rewatch these kind of cases too. I can't rewatch these kind of cases too much. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I feel bad for not letting them go, but then I think about how I would feel if something happened to them. You get one time. And that's it. You can't go back. Yes, you can check the news break near your homes and see if there's a predator near you, and it'll show pictures as well as their names and where they're located. Yeah, thank God for technology. I've never seen people who attack police get pardoned. Oh man, I'm not gonna take the bait, Sean. I'm not gonna take the bait. Shout out to January 6th. Oh, Grace is in here. Speaking of amazing kids, Dottie is in the building. She said, Daddy, have a great day. Have a good day. Love you. Bye. Love you too, Grace. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to Dottie. Yeah, in the hood. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Around, and we'll have to have a conversation about this over on the Patreon, because I think this is a great, absolutely great conversation. Around all the different crime, but we knew each other. I got whooped by my neighbors. Same. That was quite the experience. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I got whooped by my neighbors. I got snatched up by, oh man, I got snatched up by my neighbors before. I wasn't up and down the street like that, but we were playing in the yard and doing things that we weren't supposed to. And marched right across the street. Your mom home? Your grandmother home? Your grandpa home? Yeah, it's great to have. It's a blessing to have community like that, for sure. We need some kind of education in the prison system. They should be kept separate and have mental health counseling and a reintegration program. Oh man, oh my gosh, if we get into that conversation, it would take forever. But I 1000% agree. 1000% agree. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Thank y'all for having a great conversation, man. I might have to open up the phone line soon again so y'all can call in and talk about it. Because I'm sure some of you have some amazing stories. If y'all haven't yet, please make sure you like the video. Likes are free and it helps the show continue to grow. Let's get into this next topic. I want to double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody either. And shout out to Amy for reminding y'all to like the video. All right, this one, we're getting back into YNW Melly. Some interesting things just happened with my YNW Melly over the past couple of days. Let me pull this up. Where is he at? Where is Melly at? Boom, got him. So YNW Melly is now filing a lawsuit against Broward County. Now we're going to get into the actual lawsuit here. I'm going to play a clip from y'all from the news where his lawyer speaks out about what went down, what happened, and why they're following through with this lawsuit. It's very interesting stuff. Y'all check it out. And shout out to YNW Melly. Hold on.
U.S. federal court. Rapper YNW Melly appeared in U.S. federal court today for the first time as his defense team tries to get him released from jail. His attorney argues Melly's constitutional rights are being violated while he's in custody.
NBC 6's Marissa Bagg joins us live outside the federal courthouse with what happened today, Marissa, and what comes next, too.
Well, ladies, we are 8 months away now from YNW Melly's second double murder trial over in state court. So his attorneys are asking a federal judge to release him from custody until that trial starts. The judge was pretty clear today, saying a full-on release from jail is unlikely to happen. Rapper YNW Melly's family walked out of federal court today with hope.
It was good seeing him today. Hopefully I'll be able to get a phone call or a visitation really soon.
Cameras aren't allowed in federal court, but YNW Melly was dressed in the same red maximum custody jumpsuit with hands cuffed and feet shackled as you see here in a recent state court hearing. His attorney, Michael Pizzi, argues the Broward Sheriff's Office is violating his client's constitutional rights by not allowing him family visitations in custody or phone calls to his lawyers.
He is not even allowed to call me to discuss his federal constitutional
Which is crazy.
litigation. So I think it's really what the BSO and what the state are doing to him is disgraceful. They are obliterating his constitutional rights.
Obliterating.
Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demmons, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the 2018 killings of 2 of his friends. The Broward Sheriff's Office says Demmons is on administrative segregation within the jail because placement in general population poses a serious threat to the safety of staff or inmates' life or property. Their attorneys argued today that the federal case should be dismissed altogether because Demmons should be seeking relief in the state court system, not in front of a federal judge. And so the federal judge is allowing the case to continue at least for now, scheduling the next hearing for Wednesday, February 19th. But she said even if she eventually finds that Demmons' constitutional rights have been violated, she said it's unclear whether she could order any changes to his treatment in custody or to the way that he's allowed to communicate. We're live in Fort Lauderdale,
which is wild.
NBC 6 News. All right.
I mean, you go into these places, you really have no rights. It's so sad and frustrating to see because it is a system. Things should be able to run a certain way, but we've seen with the YSL case, with what's going on, even with the new trial that Brian Steele is going to be involved in, with the Naziah Harris case, like every time there seems to be something that just doesn't go according to what the law states and what the system says. Stay out of the system. I say it over and over and over. I've seen it from every angle you could possibly think of, and it's not worth it. Stay out. So what's Melly trying to do? Federal judge allows YNW Melly to file a lawsuit against sheriffs. All right. Congratulations to Melly. We're going to get into the lawsuit here in a second. What are they saying in this article? Florida rap star YNW Melly, born Jamel Demmons, first appeared in the U.S. federal court on Friday as his legal team sought his release from jail, alleging violations of his constitutional rights while in custody. Demmons is facing a second trial for a double murder in Broward County. This September is fighting for the chance to await trial outside of confinement. Michael Pizzi, Demmons' attorney, accused the Broward County Sheriff's Office of denying his clients basic rights. As he mentioned, being able to call him on the phone, multiple things. And let's not even get into Rice Street. He argued that Demmons is being deprived of his family visits and phone access to his legal counsel. He can't even call me to discuss constitutional litigation, Pizzi said. What the Broward Sheriff's Office and the state are doing to him is disgraceful. They're trampling on his constitutional rights. We just heard that Demmons is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the October 2018 killings of Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams, his close friends. The BSO justifies his placement in administrative segregation, citing concerns that housing him in general population could pose significant risk to the safety of the inmates, staff, and property. I will say they're right there. You do not want to be in Gen Pop if you're YNW Melly. So they're kind of doing him a favor, but I mean, let this man make a phone call. Good Lord. During Friday's hearing, attorneys representing the BSO argued that Demmons should address these grievances with the state court, not the federal court. However, Judge Melissa Damian allowed the case to proceed for now, scheduling a follow-up hearing for Wednesday, February 19th. This is great for him because he should start to see some movement, kind of like what we saw in Rice Street. The Department of Justice said, hey, y'all, we're coming down there and we're going to start looking. And Sheriff Patrick Labatt was scrambling. I think it was days or weeks later, they put new policies in place, or actually days or weeks before the DOJ came, they started to put new policies in place, clean things up. So I can imagine that he'll be in a better situation now that the judge says he's going to be able to move forward, which is great. Judge Damian acknowledged the possibility that Melly's rights may have been violated, but expressed uncertainty about her authority to mandate changes in his treatment or custody conditions. Despite the ongoing litigation, Demmons' release appears unlikely. Yeah, I don't think he's getting out either. Outside the courthouse, Demmons' mother, Jamie King, shared cautious optimism. It was really good to see him today, she said. I hope I'll be able to get a phone call or visit him soon. So let's go ahead and get into this lawsuit and see what are they talking about? What exactly happened? All right, we've got Jamel Demmons versus Gregory Toney, the sheriff of Broward County, and Broward County Sheriff's Office. All right, we've got the petition here. The petitioner, Jamel Demmons, by and through the undersigned counsel, petitions this court for writ of habeas corpus pursuant to Title 28, asking the respondents to appear and show cause why Jamel Demmons should not be immediately released from custody for egregious violations of the U.S. United States Constitution. In support thereof, petitioner states the following. Here's the introduction. The petitioner, Jamel Demons, seeks his immediate release because he is being illegally detained under conditions that violate the 1st, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments. Golly. They just threw all the amendments away when it comes to Melly. To the United States Constitution, Demons is a black male whose current detention conditions shock the conscience and could not even be imagined in this day and age, even in a third world country that has no guardrails protecting human decency and dignity. Sounds like Rice Street for real. For over 3 years, petitioner Jamel Demons has not been permitted to make a single phone call or have a single visit, with his family or any member of the outside world, including not seeing or speaking with his own mother in over 3 years. We keep having these conversations, hopefully as a deterrent for some of y'all. I can't imagine some of y'all watching. But someone who sees this, or someone who hears this, or someone who finds out what's going on, to stay out of the system. Be a law-abiding citizen. It's not worth it because your rights are gone. 3 years. Demons has and continues to be subjected to the type of debilitating isolation that renders his condition of incarceration cruel, unusual, and beyond belief in a civilized society governed by constitutional safeguards. He has also had restrictions placed by detention officials designed to impede his interactions with his attorneys and his ability to prepare for trial on capital murder charges. His cruel treatment by the Broward County detention authorities warrants his immediate release from pretrial detention, since the detaining authorities have shown such a callous disregard for his human dignity, right to counsel. How this is legal, I have no idea. Maybe one of our amazing attorneys can let us know in the comments in the chat how there could be a loophole to this. It seems like because this is a federal case and he's being held in BSO, that there's so many loopholes they have to go to make things happen, because I would assume that the federal government doesn't have jurisdiction over what's happening in that specific county or that specific state, which is, again, wild. Who do we have here? Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Sheriff Gregory Tony. What is going on with these sheriffs, man? This is one guy we're talking about. You don't have to change the whole system. Just get it right with this one guy. Petitioner was arrested on February 13, 2019, and has been in continuous custody since that date. Man, he produced, how old is Melly? 20 something? 2019. That's going on 6 years now. If he's 20 something, that's almost a fourth of his life. This man is spent in jail. That's what I thought. He's 25. This man has spent a fourth of his life in jail. And he could be innocent. Stay out the system. He proceeded to jury trial but the judge declared a mistrial in July 21st, 2023, when the jury was not able to convict him. In October 2023, Broward Circuit Court Judge John Murphy granted the petitioner's motion to disqualify the state petitioner in a motion contending the state attorney withheld evidence. A new set of prosecutors have come on and have done everything in their power to delay the trial from commencing, including not giving up a warrant. We saw that happen when it came to Raven Liberty. The case is currently stayed pending a ruling on an appeal taken by the state attorney. Meanwhile, the plaintiff, who remains in custody since February 2019, is continuously abused and denied bond. The petitioner has not been permitted phone or in-person or any type of visitation with his family, including his mother, for over 3 years. In addition, the respondents have placed unreasonable restrictions and inferred interfered with the ability of his attorneys to interact with him. This has included forcing his attorneys to wait for hours to see him, not letting them see him at all, and forcing them to meet with him in conditions that interfere with and impede the privacy and privileged nature of his communications with his lawyers. So they're meeting Melly and Jan Pop probably. On or around late April 11th, 2022, inmate Jamal Myers filed a grievance report in retaliation to the plaintiff's refusal to purchase him food from commissary. Inmate Myers filed a grievance report against not only the plaintiff, but another inmate. Inmate Myers alleged in part that Mr. Demmons was planning to escape by having his attorney bring 2 handcuff keys to aid in the escape. What? Mr. Demmons employs multiple criminal and civil attorneys. In response, correction personnel conducted a shakedown of plaintiff's cell and the other inmate's cell. In accordance with certain supplemental investigation report, the shakedown of plaintiff's cell unearthed commissary and excessive jail issued clothes, which were confiscated and disposed of per operational orders of the jail. However, the other inmate on the dorm was found in possession of shanks, prescription drugs, and other contraband. The inmate was subsequently charged for his possession of the contraband. Plaintiff was found to have committed no wrongdoing, and the investigation closed to the plaintiff on April 11th of 2022. Despite doing no wrong, the plaintiff was moved from his current dorm into solitary confinement, and all phone communication with the outside world ceased. And they're saying this is for his protection. I don't see how that's the case. Shortly thereafter, two of plaintiff's defense counsel attempted to visit him and were not allowed entry into the jail facilities. The facility refused to provide any reason to the denial. The following day, attorney Stuart Adelstein made an tennis, I'm probably saying that wrong, I apologize, motion regarding the jail's interference with the plaintiff's right to counsel. Honorable Judge Andrew Siegel summoned Broward Sheriff's Office attorney Christian Salbos, hopefully I said that right, probably wrong, to court. Attorney T defended the actions of the facility, stating there was an open investigation against Demmons, and further that he was a threat to security of the jail because he was alleged by Attorney T to have been found with the shank in his dorm, but they didn't find it. They found it on his roommate. Attorney Adelstein inquired if any of Mr. Demmons' defense team were at the time or ever under investigation. Attorney T responded, nope. Andrew Siegel instructed Attorney T that the jail could not restrict the plaintiff's contact with his attorneys, and Attorney T would have to come up with the plaintiff's visits with his attorneys. Effectuate, excuse me. As a result, the plaintiff's visitation took place in a visitation booth located downstairs in the bond room. The visitation booth did not accommodate Mr. Demmons and his defense team in one sitting. Moreover, it was impossible to review any documentation with Mr. Demmons due to the plexiglass divider. Not to mention that, think about this, if his lawyers didn't go and fight for this for him, he would just be sitting there. Not only was the visitation room not large enough to accommodate defendant's attorneys, but anyone also standing outside of the room could hear everything that is said in the room, violating defendant's right to private and privileged communications. On September 7th, 2022, attorney Raven Liberty filed a motion to remove visitation, communication, or interaction restrictions. Prior to the hearing on the motion, the attorney Raven Liberty contacted Christian T in an effort to reach a resolution without a hearing. Instead, Raven Liberty was met with unhinged screaming from the BSO attorney, questioning her about what do you talk about? What? Why do you spend so much time with him? Oh, here's where the accusations come in. because it was rumored that YNW Melly and Raven were y'all use your imagination. Christian T ended the conversation in telling attorney Raven Liberty that if she went forward with the hearing, he would, quote, embarrass her. It is important to note that the plaintiff's defense team was not in possession of the indictment report, so the defense team and the court all relied on Mr. T's proffers to the court that have not been determined to be truthful. All this is based off of lies. Despite the believable threat of character assassination, Raven Liberty proceeded to the hearing on the motion. Christian T ranted and raved about unverified allegations and the behavior of the plaintiff. Despite Christian T's attempts to not only embarrass attorney Raven Liberty, he failed. T was instructed to accommodate visitation between the plaintiff and his attorneys that was free from third parties being able to listen. Shout out to Raven Liberty for fighting for her client. This is the type of lawyer that you want. Amazing. On September 29th of 2022, Raven Liberty was contacted by a reporter for an online media outlet and informed that unknown members of BSO contacted them and led them to believe she was the attorney that inmate Myers was speaking about in his unfounded grievance. Interesting. As a result of these accusations, the BSO stories ran for weeks about the alleged nefarious escape plan between Raven Liberty and the plaintiff. It makes no sense. Escape plan created by BSO was not the worst of it. December 1st of 2022, that same year, under the charge of Captain Hubert, plaintiff without cause was moved to a unit inside the jail that is meant to accommodate 24 inmates. The plaintiff was the only housed on the vacant unit with no privileges, no television, and no access to newspaper. Can y'all imagine that? Just being in an empty, giant space. You can't talk to anybody. That's enough to drive some people crazy. When the plaintiff was allowed his hour out of the cell, all other inmates had to go back inside their cells. Specifically, during December 2022, Lieutenant John Baptiste, along with Sergeant Anthony Kidd, threatened plaintiff if he told his attorney about his treatment, they would hide him away from the world. Plaintiff had no phone privileges since May 8th of 2022. The plaintiff had not had private visitations with his defense team since March of 2022. So this whole time they're fighting behind the scenes just to see him. As recently without reason, plaintiff was moved to the Paul Reen Detention Center and housed on the floor with no one else. His door had been removed from his cell, preventing any privacy, and he had a member of the emergency response team shadowing him 24 hours a day. Oh, I need the email. They added an E there. I gotta tell them they messed this up. They were instructed not to speak to him. Plaintiff went without any human contact for several months until, again, BSO moved him. Florida Statute 90124 states that a person arrested shall be allowed to consult with any attorney entitled to practice in the state, alone and in private, at the place of custody, as often and for such periods of time as is reasonable. Who gets to determine whether it's reasonable? I don't know there. Maybe the warden, the sheriff? I don't know. The ongoing denial of Mr. Demons' access to his attorney is not only preventing Mr. Demons' attorneys from properly preparing Mr. Demons' defense, but is in violation of not only his Sixth Amendment right, but Florida law as well. In order to punish and isolate Demons, the respondents have isolated him and not permitted a single phone call or visit from family in over 3 years. This isolation has inflicted an enormous emotional impact on him and is designed to deteriorate his mental health and his ability to prepare for a trial. For a trial that is now scheduled in September of 2025. And of course, we will be covering that here on the channel, y'all know. The respondents monitor the custody of thousands of inmates and have never imposed such restrictions. non-black inmates currently have any such punitive restrictions. All right. And then, of course, they have the grounds. We know we just went through that. We've got the memorandum of law as well. And they just go through and say basically what all they're looking for. Wherefore, petitioner respectfully requests that this court issue a writ of habeas corpus directing respondents to show cause why he should not be released from unlawful detention and grant such other relief as the court deems just and proper because of this abusive and outrageous violations of his rights guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution, coupled with the efforts by the state to delay his trial after years of custody, a fourth of his life. It is requested that this honorable court order the petitioner's immediate release from custody. Respectfully submitted, Michael A. Pisa. Hey, shout out to his attorneys. They're fighting hard for him. This man has been in jail for a fourth of his life, which allegedly could be for no reason. I mean, we're going to say it's for no reason because you're innocent until proven guilty, right? And if they're saying these conditions haven't been done to anybody else, they need to show why. And if they can't show why, they got to get him out of there. I'll be interested to see what the judge rules on that, what happens with this lawsuit. If there's changes made while this is pending, y'all let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments and in the chat as well. Shout out to the gang in the building, man. Y'all sticking in there, showing some love too. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Who we got in here? We got Slim Life in the building with the five bomb super sticker. Says keep it up. Thank you so much. And then of course we have the awesome, amazing Amy in here. Showing love with the cake. Thank you, Amy, for the super sticker. Yeah, it's almost cake time. Let me see what y'all are saying here. It's crazy how many officers they had with Eppinger, but Thug was the wolf. Makes zero sense. Well, he did shoot a cop and he shot at 2 cops. So I don't know. Hey, Classy, can you please talk about BSO manufacturing drugs? Oh, Lord, I'm going to leave Broward County alone. I got enough to handle here in Fulton County. I have no smoke for Broward County. Just do the right thing. I'm going to let y'all over there handle it. I got enough to handle here in Fulton County. It seems like the warden has something against him. All orders come from them. Not sure. Like I said, I'm going to get the docs and see, but I'm pretty sure they did. Melly got to be slowly losing his mind. Wild. Sean P said Melly is smashing his lawyer. Hey, yo. I would be too, Melly, if that's all I could see every day. Oh my gosh. I don't know if they did. That's funny. Melly's got to be slowly lose his mind. Just read that. Yes, it's called locked up or solitary confinement. Happens all the time. Yeah, but usually, well, I won't even say usually there's a reason. That is true. If the police beat you up real bad, they'll put you in lockup until you heal. And if your family calls, they'll say your whole tears is locked down, which is a lie. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Speaking of Fulton County, another inmate was attacked on Wright Street over the weekend. See? Y'all deal with BSO. We're going to try and figure out what we need to do here in Fulton County. I have no room to judge because we got a lot of work to do. Thank y'all again for the major support, man. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Over 900 of y'all are in the building now, and 1,100 of you like the video. Thank you so much. Amy sent me the video. Okay, she sent me the info. I'm going to check it out and we'll talk about it tomorrow then. Because again, Fulton County, we got a lot of work to do. I'm not going to stop holding y'all accountable until we get it right. Yeah, I knew what you meant by tier. Zahir, I got you. Either way, we're going to be back tomorrow morning with some more updates for y'all. We may have some updates on what's going on with this case that Brian Steele's working on. Also with the Naziah Harris trial as well. So y'all stay tuned in. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time we drop a new video or go live. Also, check out the Patreon if y'all haven't yet. We got a couple of posts over there. I'll actually be posting all the documents that we reviewed today. So y'all go check out the Patreon. I've got some exclusive videos coming for y'all as well. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have some great conversations. The link to join the Patreon is in the pinned comment of the chat and also in the description. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank y'all for the love. Shout out to the sponsors of today's show, Amber Rain, in here making it rain. And as always, y'all know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, and keep it classy. We gone. Peace.